hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top of the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. You got 3 down, 3 down.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Watch out.
Day
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got this.
Ready up.
51 to Mike.
Y'all not ready.
36.
Big grip.
On first down, Humphreys call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches, but it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. McIntosh. But it's brought in by Washington. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Safety's creeping.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he's got this down to the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They go play action. It's Rosen. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They run with Hunt. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Set. 18 Gator. 6-6. Pull it high. Get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Check. Right up.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 4.
Ready.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. McIntosh. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Bear. Hey, Delta. Hit it.
Back to throw. McIntosh. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Joe Schobert drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Steelers nothing.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really
Odell Beckham Jr. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 98 yards. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we have that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, in pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people. And oftentimes, you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle him.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. McIntosh. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Hey, alert, alert. 52. Hey, Zoo,
after the interception. Here's Rosen. The quick slant caught. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Aaron Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. McIntosh. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Looking to throw. McIntosh. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
Ready?
And to give this time to the tailback. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
30 base.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's get the ball.
Get it.
To throw on 2nd down. McIntosh nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Takk McKinley made his way into the backfield.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Operating from the gun, McIntosh. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Target, 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 target. Slam, slam, 80.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
Two-jet bomber.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Running the jet sweep, Landry, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd down, Rosen. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before half. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great play there, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
They're on 36-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Got an open man. It's Washington. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Down. 90 Wolf.
Mike. All day. All day.
The final shot before break. McIntosh going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And a little floater there is incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Humphries now to return. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Humphries. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The second down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, McIntosh. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Stop your whining.
Throwing on 1st down. McIntosh. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw. McIntosh. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Bell. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
On the double.
51 the mic. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Looking to throw. McIntosh. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception.
Mike.
Rosen to throw on 3rd down. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Check 55 to Mike. Coming. Mike 55. Mike 50. Monday. Let's get some
Jones. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Aaron Jones, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
To put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Come up the ball hard. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
On 3rd down, Humphries. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Let's go.
They'll go for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Steelers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run the counter. Humphries. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McIntosh. Washington's got it. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
It's 3rd and 11.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
Operating from the gun, McIntosh. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. but it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
49, check 49. Check.
They'll run it with Jones. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, more...
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
That's 80.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Check your hot read.
Pug, Monday.
This is Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Check the backer. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Out. Hey, alert. Monday.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Check.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
They're not ready for this. They still playing.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Check 25. Monday.
Slam.
Now Jones. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready up.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw. McIntosh. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 14. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Watch the backer, watch the backer. Kill, 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 kill.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Browns, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.